Hi, in this tutorial I'm going to explain what tuples are in C#. I have a piece of code here with several tuples declared, initialized, and let's take a look at them. Now, before C#7, this was what a tuple looked like. Here I have a tuple with two elements, string and integer, and you can declare the tuple like this, where we have the string, which is actually the name of the person, as John Doe, and his age is 60. Now, after C#7, we can declare the tuples in a much easier way. All right, now I have a person2 tuple, which is also a tuple with two elements, string and integer, also the name and the age of the person. And you can see that this is much easier and shorter. You can also declare the tuples in a third way. These are called name tuples, I believe. You can see we actually gave the string name and the integer age. And we have a tuple person3 with the name of Mary and age of 25. Now, let's see how we can use them. The first tuple person1, we can use them by accessing the items starting from 1, 2, and if we had more elements, then we could use 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. This tuple here, person1, has two elements, so we can access item 1 and item 2. We're using the console writeLine method to print out the name, which is John Doe, and the age of this person. Now the second tuple, person2, we can use it in a similar way, accessing the items name as item 1 and age as item 2. Now the name tuple is a bit different. You can still access the items the old way using item 1 and item 2, but since we gave them names as name and age, which are the names for the string and the integer, we can actually use person3.name to access the name, which is Mary, and person3.age to access the age, which is 25. Okay, let's take a look at another simple example. I have created a method which is called getPerson, which actually returns a tuple with name and age, and I'm calling this method inside my main method of the program. Okay, this is where I'm calling the method, and on the next line we're using the console writeLine method to print out the name and the age of the person. If I run the program, it's going to print Mary is 25, hold on, years old. Okay, instead of using a tuple inside my getPerson method, I can actually create a class with two properties, name and age, and return a class object. So why do we need tuples in C#? We need them for several reasons. The first one is to simply return multiple values from a method without having to declare a separate class or structure. We can do this because using tuples can be done in a more straightforward and lightweight manner without having to declare a class or structure, as I mentioned. We can also use it to group some related data which we might not need another time. Basically, let's say we have our method getPerson, and we can change the method to actually return a tuple with 3 elements. I have string, the name of the person, int, which is the age of the person, and another int, which is the number of pets that the person has. And again, I have changed the code here in my main method. We're calling the method and we're printing the name and the age and has person number pets. So if I run the program, it's going to print Mary is 25 years old and has 2 pets. Okay, now here it makes sense to use the tuple, since we don't, even if we decide to declare a separate class person, it doesn't really make sense to have a number of pets property if we are not going to use it often. This is the second reason we are using tuples in C# to temporary group related data. And another reason for using tuples in C# is actually performance consideration. The tuples can be more performant than classes or structures when we're dealing with small amounts of data, because they are value types, and we can use them to return multiple values from a single method. And the last reason for using tuples in C# is actually they can make our code easier to read and maintain when the tuples are used properly. This was another quick tutorial which introduced us to tuples in C#. You can always refer to the official documentation if you want to learn more, or simply do some research online. Thank you for watching.